Hey guys, Marty Bostic here with you today to bring a really comprehensive video together around the PreSearch project. It's a decentralized search engine project, and I am really enjoying this thing. I'm using it every day, and what I want to cover in this video is how the ecosystem works and what you can do to participate in the community and how you can get rewarded in pre-tokens just by using the search engine. Okay, so there's several ways to get paid with it. There's some passive free ways to get paid in pre-tokens, and they even give you 25 pre-tokens just for registering for free to use the search engine. It's a really powerful project. It's one that I can get behind, so stick with me and let's go ahead and get started in the video and dive right in. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is the PreSearch search engine. Okay, so I just brought it up under presearch.org, and we'll get into the details around how it works in a few minutes. Notice there's a few search providers already listed here, like DuckDuckGo and Google and some others. The cool thing about PreSearch, it's not a replacement search engine for Google. It's an aggregator. It pulls all these search results together. It pulls all this information together in a unified search experience, both on the desktop and mobile. And it is a powerful search engine. And you guys, I do believe you're going to like it once you get started using it. I've actually made it my default search engine for all my browsers. Why? Because I search a bazillion things a day. And if I'm going to be using a search engine already, I might as well get paid for it. Right? And I like the project. I am standing behind the community of the project. I've got a lot of friends that are influencers in the market, and they stand behind it as well. ModoTech actually brought this project in front of me. I was watching one of his videos on it, on actually configuring a search node, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, on a Raspberry Pi computer. So being the nerd that I am, I wanted to try that as a hobby type project. It worked really well. I really liked it, but I wanted to take it to the next level. But let's go ahead and talk about the project itself. I want to show you guys what's behind it. Let's go ahead and start there. So if you go to presearch.io, this is the main website that has the white papers, the vision, the roadmap, and all the rest of the good stuff here. But what we want to talk about real quickly is the ecosystem. Okay, so the search engine is what you saw here. So somebody gets ready to search, just like you would search on Google or anything else. Then you use the search engine to find the information that you're trying to collect. Everything is powered on the Ethereum blockchain with the pre-token. The pre-token is an ERC71 token that sits on the Ethereum blockchain. And at the moment, the value of that token is about 39 cents. It was up to almost 46 cents yesterday. Right now it's doing some correction and going through support and some other good stuff. But if you look over the last 90 days, well, heck, let's just look at the last 180 days on this token. Let me jump over there. I don't know why that's not refreshing. But if you look, here's where the project was kind of in the testing zone. A lot of people were playing with it to get started. Right now, it's on the test net. For those of you who don't know what that means, so the test net is kind of like Hell's Kitchen of the blockchain for Ethereum. That's where apps get tested out. That's where they're your proving grounds to try and get everything established, work out the kinks, and get everything ready before it moves to the main net. Now, the ultimate goal with the PreSearch project is to get over to the main net, which is on their roadmap. And once they feel like they're ready, the infrastructure is in place enough to support the search volume with all these people running search nodes and everything working like it should. Then the next step is to move to the main net. And then what you're going to see is this is going to go through the dang roof. Okay. Right now it's the Wild West. There's just over the last month or so, if I read correctly, there's a little over 10,000 new search nodes from other people in the community that wanted to run one or more nodes or machines to help complete searches. And we're going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. But you can see how the token adoption, you can see how the project is taking off, and it's on a nice, steady incline. You can see where some roadmap milestones were met, so now it's really climbing up there, and the adoption rate is going up. There's a lot of people seeing this. They're learning about this project for the first time. You get a lot of heavy hitters that want to adopt and support it, so that's what you're seeing right here in the Northeast trend. let me go ahead and close that. Okay, so you got the search engine, you have the pre-token that's how it's powered. Okay, that's the financial token back behind it to support the ecosystem. PreSearch nodes are compute nodes. Okay, so they are small footprint computers, which at the time of this video, they don't require much horsepower at all. They're just tiny, but they need a lot of them. And what the whole idea behind a decentralized project like this is you got a lot of people in the community that are helping out to satisfy searches that get done. So if you go off and you issue a search, for example, let's say I want to go learn about the PreSearch API. Then it's going to go off and find me information. It's going to show me some ads. It's going to show me information from a variety of sources. It's going to show, a Microsoft result. There might be a Google result that showed up in there, but it pulls all this aggregated together for me. And when I ran that search, it actually fired that search request off to a node sitting on the blockchain on the network that went off, completed that search, went out there, got the content, computed that, and provided the results back to me. So that's what a node does. That's what a search node does. So when I issued my search, pre-tokens were rewarded to the search node that completed that search for me. And that's part of the reward system that we'll talk about shortly. Now, the other part of the ecosystem is keyword staking. So just like with Google AdWords or any other ad marketplace for keywords, what's going to happen, and we'll look at the roadmap momentarily, but what's going to happen is the PreSearch marketplace for shopping and sales, e-commerce, and the keyword staking are going to kind of work in tandem. And search keywords, people can stake tokens. So they can stake, right now it's a minimum of 1,000 tokens to stake a keyword. For example, I have the keyword free leads that's staked. Okay, so I've been evaluating that and testing it. It's just now getting off and running. So I have 1,000 pre-tokens that are staked because I wanted to bid for this keyword. I wanted to put this keyword in here of free leads. And then I have my ad here with my offer. And I'm in the first position because there's no other competition for it right now. It's had 12 views on that keyword from people doing searches and 3 clicks on the offer. Now, I plan on testing several offers. I may stake some additional keywords, but that's the goal there, is to stake those keywords. And when you do, then you can get rewarded for advertising to your offer. Right now, there's no reward when somebody clicks on a keyword. You don't earn anything off of that. That may change. The reward system may change on how they compensate people that click on keywords. It may end up being like a Google AdSense type scenario where you got AdWords providers, people that bid on keywords. The rewards for people clicking on ads get paid out to people on the other end. I'm not sure quite how that's going to work yet, but for me, it's about positioning keywords, and I plan on evaluating that further. And the really cool part about the keywords right now, there is no cap on it. So you're not, unlike Google and some of the others, you are not paying for per impression or per 1,000 impressions. You're not paying for cost per click. You're literally staking a fixed amount to own that keyword unless somebody outbids you. And it's like a media buy, a direct media buy somewhere where you purchased that and you own that spot, but you don't have to pay anything else. So at least till sometime later next year, from looking at the notes in the blog, they are going to let you stake a keyword that you own it. If somebody searched for free leads, let me show you. Somebody went over here and they searched for free leads. Boom, I'm right there. I'm position 1. And if we come over here and look, if I refresh this, we should see 13 views now. And there we are. Okay, so I own this keyword position right here. So it's a great way to get in front of people. You just have to do your research. Now, the cool thing about that is you could go out and take any of the trending keyword research or anything around keywords that you want to look for search volume and get an idea what people are searching for. Stands to reason if they use the PreSearch search engine, they're going to be looking for stuff just like people on Google or Bing or Yahoo or any of the others, okay? So keep that in mind, and there's some really, really good resources on keywords, on strategy. So there's a good video that's right here talking about your strategy. talking about free traffic for affiliate marketers. They're thinking about this. They're thinking ahead in the keyword strategy, which is great. And looking at this, I mean, it truly is a $100 billion opportunity on keyword advertising where they're headed with this. So that's one avenue. That's another piece of the ecosystem. So if we come over here and look some more, I touched on the PreSearch marketplace. I know in the roadmap that's going to be an area they're going to focus after the core infrastructure and the nodes, the search engine, and all that is solidified on the testnet, and we're getting good results consistently on everything. That they're going to start moving further into the marketing angles and marketing aspect of this ecosystem. So I don't have a lot to talk about on the marketplace other than there's going to be some really cool developments in that space that are coming in a future milestone. So again, it sits on the Ethereum blockchain. It's the pre-token is a token that sits on top of the Ethereum blockchain, and smart contracts can be issued on the blockchain and a bunch of other good stuff, but it's a great application development platform for distributed apps, which is why it was built on top of that for the ecosystem. Now, that pretty much sums it up. That sums up how the entire thing works in a nutshell, the components that are involved to bring it together. That's the goal. So now let's go talk about the roadmap for a minute. I'm going to close this. Let's just clean up as we go here. So let's talk about the roadmap. So from January of 2021 through March, they were doing the powered search, the node powered search engine launch, where they really kind of got this going, where people could spin up a search node and contribute to it. There wasn't really anything around rewards yet. That wasn't tied into it yet. The tokenomics piece of this came around in the February timeframe, and they have met their mark. They have met their mark on their milestones here. I'm very impressed at how they've hit that, and that's encouraging for the future of the project if they are behind that and they're sticking to it and they don't keep delaying. Okay, and that's important. That's something I look for in a project like this. So, I'm sorry I skipped ahead here. So they got this functionality around node powered search where it's distributed nodes, and then they had everything launched onto the testnet like I was talking about. So everything's out there, the nodes are getting created, they're getting established on the blockchain and registering and connected to the testnet. The tokenomics aspect of this, the engine around the way the tokens are going to work and the interaction for that, all the tokenomics around that engine were deployed in the February timeframe. Also in February, toward the end of it, they put a stats dashboard, which I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. The stats for my nodes, where you're able to see all your statistics on your nodes that you've registered, so you can see how many searches you received and your rewards if you've chosen to stake and invest in a node rather than just running one. Then you could see those statistics as well. So it's really good stuff, and you can find out latency scores and all kinds of good stuff, and we'll cover that. So also in February, this is where the rewards started kicking in. So this is what really started ramping that up and getting people interested in it, because people wanted to get rewarded for running one of these search nodes. Now you could run one of these nodes for free just to contribute to the community. Maybe you're a hobbyist, you're somebody that likes to play around with this stuff. That's fine, you can do that. And you just choose compute power. You can decide if you want to do it from home or if you want to do it in a data center from a node and do that. And we're going to talk about pros and cons of doing both of those as well. But they introduced the reward system back in February. Now, I'll be honest, I really wish I had gotten in when the token price was a little teeny weeny, because if I had seen what I'm working with right now in this project, back in the February timeframe, I would have stocked up on tokens, man. I would have been piling it on by the thousands. The reason being is where it's headed and where it's at right now. You could have gotten in much cheaper. And you might think that 39 cents or so is cheap. It is. It's still really cheap to get in this project. Let me also preface this by saying that I am not a financial advisor. Let's go ahead and get all that stuff out of the way. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide investment advice. Don't put anything into this project that you can't afford to lose, okay? You may get an ROI on it long term, you may not, For me, I see the long-term picture of this. I see the vision of it. That's why I'm invested in it. I'm looking for long-term projects with some passive potential behind them, and this is one of them. All right, so let's go ahead and circle back over here. Where are we? Let's see. Yes, the repository, the knowledge base repository and documentation, the docs.presearch.org is really, really handy. Let me go ahead and show you. Can't type. All right. So they keep adding to this and appending to it and revising it. It's a really solid set of documentation to learn anything you need to know about the PreSearch project. Okay. Most of the time I'm hanging around in the PreSearch Nodes Telegram group because it's extremely active, and you could get quick answers from the staff right there in that Telegram group. So let's go ahead and close that up. So that covers the January to March. That's the Q1 time frame. That's a lot of crap in one quarter, man. That is a lot. So now let's come over here to Q2 and let's talk about March through April. Actually, it's not even a whole quarter. They've covered just a couple of months there. So the dark mode, for people like me that eyesight is just horrible, I'm extremely sensitive to light, so the dark mode helps me a bunch. So when I'm over here using the dark mode, this helps me tremendously. So people that do need that functionality, that was a great enhancement to add that. Affiliate links, we're going to talk about that in part of the passive income component, because the referral system and the affiliate links, banners, all that good stuff, they've provided that for you in your account when you create an account with PreSearch. And we'll talk about how you get rewarded with that as well. I'm saving that part, all of those pieces, to when we cover those sections here shortly. So node status API. So if you wanted to write your own custom API, your programming interface to be able to go off and look at your nodes, if maybe you don't want to log into the dashboard to look at it, then you could do an API call. Maybe you've got your own mobile app, or you got a custom app that you wanted to go pull back status from these nodes. Then that API was introduced, and you can do hooks into that. The referral sharing tools, this is kind of like what I was talking about with the affiliate links. They've got things in here where you could share search results. So maybe I'm over here and I search for, let's just go do this again. Notice there's a share button up here. Any of these are over here. Maybe this was a search that I wanted to share with a friend that was important. Maybe it's something that was a deep search with some good stuff behind it. I could just click on share and share these results on Twitter, Facebook, email, or just copy the link and share them with somebody, which is handy because the whole search is wrapped up in there, and I just send it off to somebody. Okay, so that's a handy little feature. And ongoing search improvements, agreed. They keep updating the user experience and getting feedback and rolling that into to what you get in a more unified look and feel that people like to see to get information quickly and consume it quickly. So this brings us to about where we are from May forward. Okay, so here we are at the time of this video. We're October 7th, so we're well along past May. The mobile browser, PreSearch mobile browser, I believe right now it's just in the EU, but the plan is to make it a default option for the, globally for all iOS and Android devices to be able to choose PreSearch as a browser search option on the phones. That opens up a whole new playing field. So I want you to think about the adoption of people that want to use a secure, decentralized search engine from their phone. So if you got an iPhone or you've got an Android device, I mean, my phones are always nearby. I do more searches mobile than I do on the desktop. Well, if I made that my default search on the phone, then I'm using the search engine. I'm firing off my requests off to all these nodes, and I'm on the go. Think about how many searches you might do from your phone. You may or may not be a heavy mobile user, but there are more mobile users than desktop users now. Okay, I have two devices. I have two mobile devices. Plus, I've got a tablet and I've got a Surface Pro. So I am connected to the hilt, and most of the other nerdy friends like me are too, and even just regular consumers have more than one device these days. If they like this search engine and they adopt it and they use it, they can find what they need easily and quickly, they're going to use it. So this was a huge adoption and implementation to do that, and I'm anxious to see it I've actually added it. You can add it in the US if you want to, but it's not a default option that I've seen. Maybe I've missed that, but I do have it set up on my phone, so that's how I use my default searches right now. Web3 withdrawals, so sites that maybe decentralized exchanges and other locations, web wallets, other things, all of that technology is now integrated, so you can use some of those to withdraw your pre-tokens, okay? So the reward verification system replacement, they're working on that, on how they verify rewards, so people aren't gaming it and there's no fraud. They're really, really big on people not fraudulently gaming the system to try and get rewards unfairly. Okay, so they want that to be an equitable system, the way they verify that and do it. So I'm not sure where they're headed with it right now, but I know that that they are actively trying to make that a better experience. So search rewards. Let's go ahead and talk about that for just a minute. When you first sign up with PreSearch, they're going to give you 25 pre-tokens. Okay, so you know, at 39 cents a piece, that's pretty cool just for signing up. Okay, what they're going to do is pay you. You know what? We'll go ahead and jump over here so we can kind of look at that back and forth and cover it. So you see the 32.40 pre-tokens. I started with 25. Okay, so every time I do a search, every single time that I do a search, 30 times a day, 30 paid searches a day, they're going to give you 30 paid searches a day. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the rewards account for just a minute. You see all these? Today is the 7th, right? Yep, today's the 7th. So I've been rewarded 0.1 pre-tokens 1, 2, 3, 4 times already. I did my 30 yesterday. What I've started doing is I'm making sure that I do at least 30 searches a day. Why? It's free money. It's a passive reward just for using a damn search engine. Okay? So max paid searches per day, 30. Reward tokens, I'm up to 32 and change. Tokens per search. So they're going to pay you right now, and this could change in the future, but the foreseeable future right now and forward until they say otherwise, they're going to pay you 0.1 tokens for every search that you do on here. And I'm going to show you in real time. We're going to come over and do this crap right now. So let's, because I made it the default search engine in my browser, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can just come up here to the address bar. I'm using Chrome, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to search for Bitcoin price. Let's make sure I'm logged in. Okay, so it's logged me in. I'm tied to it. I'm logged in. Remember, it was 32.4 just a moment ago. Well, now I'm going to go do something else. Maybe I want to go see Ethereum price. It may take a second. The reason being is I just fired off a search off to somebody's node, God knows where. It's going to go aggregate those results, return them back to me, report back to the blockchain, report back to the ecosystem that, hey, Marty just did a search. You need to reward him because he's not hit his 30 paid searches per day. Go ahead and reward him. So we're at 32.5, right? 32.6. Pretty slick, huh? If you total that up, that's about 3 pre-tokens per day that you get just for using the stupid search engine. It's ridiculous. I don't want to call it stupid. It's a solid search engine, but you get the idea. So why not jump on it? So 3 pre-tokens times 0.395, that's $1.18 a day. So like yesterday, we'll just say 0.46 times 3. That was $1.38 that I earned yesterday just for searching. Where do you get paid to search on a search engine? Nowhere. Okay, if you do, show it to me. So pretty dang slick. And if we come up, let's go ahead and close those results up. Come back over here. So search rewards, again, they're going to pay you 30. They'll pay you 25 tokens just for signing up and registering, creating an account. The referral system, which we're going to go look at in a minute, I'm going to show you how you get rewarded with that too. That's way number 2 to get paid. But just for using this project and contributing to it, through searching, which you are contributing by searching, you're helping better the environment, increase the chances of the algorithm being accurate and doing some things to give better results. you're going to get rewarded for that. Now, after 30 paid searches a day, you still can keep using the search engine all you want. You just won't get rewarded for it for additional searches in a 24-hour period. Now, to make sure you're not gaming the system, that's what the verification system is in there for that's part of that, is to make sure that what you're doing is legit. You're not sitting here and just crushing it, trying to smash it up and kill it. So they want to make sure that they reward you equitably to do that. So the token bridge is where the token being bridged to some of the other marketplaces and exchanges to easily swap and exchange it. That's some of that is actually in place, and they're bringing in more of it to allow that bridge to be able to get access to the tokens easily, to buy and sell them and trade them on other platforms. Smart node routing, I did a little bit of reading on that before this video. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's say, so I'm in Moody, Alabama, which is out in the middle of nowhere, and I fire off a search. The performance for that search, when the smart node routing is fully implemented, it's going to deliver me to the most geographically optimal location for that search. So there might be a node down the street, next door. There might be a node 20 miles from me that's the closest one, who knows? But it's going to deliver my search to the most optimal location to return the results. Why? Because you want the user to get a quick experience coming back for the search. You want them to get that in an optimal manner. Right now, they focus on the West Coast within the U.S. is the optimal location with the biggest adoption. That's where you will get the lowest latency right now. But that's expanding out, and you can run a node anywhere you want to. But that's, if you go watch some of the videos and you watch how that's done, that's kind of where they've started, and they're expanding out in their ecosystem. So I made sure that my smart node, or that my search nodes that I'm hosting, are located in the West Coast. That way I have the lowest latency, and my reliability score and things that we're going to talk about in just a moment. I've got the best chance of success and the highest rewards, and can provide the best experience for others by being in the optimal recommended location. All right, so that covers, kind of the forward roadmap of where they're headed. If we jump ahead to the kind of the global roadmap, if you will, the major milestones and achievements, this is where they started evaluating and testing production traffic on the user nodes. It's happening right now. The auto scaling, I'm not sure about it yet. I've not read enough on it to understand where they're at with that part of the project. This is where the geographically distributed gateways are. So that's a lot of this is in flight, but that's where they're trying to get to. And then ultimately, they want everything to move to PreSearch.com. Right now, it's PreSearch.org, and that's where they want to get to ultimately in the branding for it. And this is where they're going to do enhancements with the engine and integrating it into other apps, other platforms, embedding elsewhere, which that's going to make it take off like crazy. And then ultimately, when all these little bits and bobs and things are sorted out, they're going to launch on the mainnet, which the mainnet is the premium network. You're playing with the big boys then when you move into the Ethereum mainnet for your application. But you want to get everything sorted out in the testnet before you move to the mainnet. Okay? All right, so that covers the roadmap and kind of the ecosystem as a whole there. So let's go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead, before we talk about search nodes, let's come over here to kind of the rewards thing for referrals. So let's talk about this for a minute. So if you've created your account and you're inside of here, you've got different types of accounts, okay? You have a savings account. Think of that as your piggy bank for pre-tokens, okay? So everything lands in the savings account ultimately when you're ready to transfer it over to there, and that's kind of your holding area for a future withdrawal. Now, if we go over to the savings account, you can see all the things I've had going on where I'm playing with search nodes, I'm staking money, I'm putting them in there, I'm taking money out, I'm transferring rewards over into the savings account. Here's the max paid searches per day, here's where I'm at with the price per search that I get. But you can see a bunch of different, there's types of action that's in here, from where I've done deposits from the blockchain, where I added funds. All of those things are here, and that's in your savings account. So right now, my savings account has 32.6 pre-tokens in it. Actually, let me show you. The rewards account has 32.6 in it. The savings account is kind of a cumulative combined amount of it. And I get ready to withdraw my tokens. Notice there is 1,000 minimum. And savings tokens, I've got a balance of 1 from my rewards I've gotten from nodes, search nodes, just tinkering with that to make sure I could pull that off and save it. I like to test all of those things. I've got an Ethereum wallet address where I'm dropping everything down here. And so when I'm ready to do my withdrawal and I've met my minimum, I'll come over here if I'm ready to withdraw it, and I'll go dump it right into my MetaMask wallet, which is where I've got that tied to. So let's look through the account over here under referrals. I did not mean to do that. Let's talk about the referral system for a minute. So right now I have referred 9 people. Okay, so I've got my referral link right here. This is what you get when you go ahead and participate in the referral system. I would encourage you to go through the referrals FAQ to see how that works. You have to agree to the terms and conditions, but everybody can get approved with it. And you just go through there, and once you've enabled that, you'll get access to where you can see banners for your account. So they give you some search banners or display banners that you can use for promoting it. And you can also share it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and through email. So right now you can see that I've claimed 0 credits. I have none that are eligible to claim. Now the way this works, this is important because this question is going to come up a lot. You become eligible for your 25 token bonus per referral. In other words, every person that you refer, you could potentially earn 25 pre-tokens from that person, okay? Once each referral has earned 50 search reward tokens, in other words, I refer Johnny, Johnny goes over there and does enough searches to earn 50 pre-tokens just by using a search engine. After a 30-day period, maybe Johnny's really busy and he gets those 50 in 10 days. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to get rewarded for it until he's been active for at least 30 days after he signed up. So there's a few things there that have to happen. One, when they register, they have to be active in using this thing. Okay, so notice last active for this referral right here says recently. That means they're in there active, they're doing something, but I'm not eligible to receive any pre-tokens from them yet. There's some that have never done it. It actually gives you a button. I don't believe I can send any new ones because they've all been notified. But anybody that's inactive, it will give you a little orange button where you can send them a reminder through the system. They won't show you the whole email address, okay? But you can send an internal reminder to somebody of, hey, you need to get in there and start searching so you can earn. So the system will do its own reminding of that if you'll do that little button there. So it's a great way to, kind of an internal mailer, if you will, being able to do that while still keeping everything anonymous where you don't know who this person is. Now, you might know their email and you could identify it that way. I know a few of these looking at them, but it's a great way to keep it anonymous where people don't see that piece of it. Okay, so right now I could potentially earn 225 credits for people I've referred. I've referred 9 people. Of the 9, I have 3 people that are actively in here using the search engine, which is great because if they go meet their goal and they hit that, then I'm going to get a one-time payout of 25 pre-tokens. So let's go ahead and do a little math on that. We'll just base it on the current price at 39.5 cents. So 39 times 25. For each person that qualifies, I would earn $9.87, we'll say $9.88 times 3 people. That's $29.63 that I would earn just off those 3. Well, what if all 9 did this? What if these 225 credits? I mean, we're talking about real money here. This is totally free to participate in. All you got to do is go out and share it, get other people interested in it, show them how this thing works. And the sky's the limit on that. Everybody knows how to use a search engine. So let's say 225 credits times 0.395 is $88.88. It's pretty slick. Now, what if the token price gets up to, let's just say it gets up to $1, which is very realistic at the rate it's going, considering it's doubled in the last month, less than a month, and then it doubled again prior to that. So let's say it's at $1 times So you got 9 people you're going to earn 25 credits off of. So if it's $1, that's $25, right? Times 9, that's $225 off of these 9 people that you're going to earn if they go off and they qualify and do what they're supposed to as a referral. So if you don't have any money to invest, maybe this is not something that you can afford to stake a bunch of tokens in right now, you could still earn. They're going to give you 25 for starting, and you have the potential to earn 25 off of each and every person that you refer to this. All I've done is just a tiny, tiny amount of referrals to get people here to get them to this point. And now as they move through here and they start using it, some will use it, some won't use it. As you can see, we've got 3 of them that are actively using it right now, which is great. So you got the potential to earn rewards from other people completing searches. So you'll earn a one-time payout from those people. It's not residual, but it is passive. All you got to do is do something once, tell people about it, and they sign up. And 2, you get paid on it. Pretty cool. So that's, in a nutshell, how the referral system works. Okay, so that's one way for you to get paid. So now, the other way to get paid was doing searches. So if you do a search, you could earn up to 3 pre-tokens per day just by using the search engine. So that's 2 ways to get paid. So now we're going to move into the more complex subject of nodes. It's really not as complex as it looks. I'm actually going to refresh this because I've probably earned some more pre-tokens. You may look at this and think, oh my God, that's not much at all. I'm not doing anything with these. They're just running. I set them up once and I keep earning passively over and over and over. I'm in this for the long game, okay? I want to earn over time. I see the value in this project, and as this thing moves to the mainnet, 1, the token value is going to go up. 2, being an early adopter, being grandfathered in, which we're going to talk about that in just a moment too. It's a very time-sensitive thing right now where when you stake 1,000 tokens on a node, okay? If you do this before Friday, I don't know the time Friday the 8th. If you stake 1,000 tokens on a node and run a search node before Friday, I'm just going to say before because I don't know what time tomorrow it's going to be. If you do that, then you're grandfathered in where you don't have to ever raise that up to stake more to keep running a search node. Starting tomorrow, they're going to make the minimum to stake for a node to be 2,000. So you would have to have about $800 and change. Well, let's go ahead and figure it out. We'll just go ahead and do the math on that. At the current price, times 2,000, you might as well add another couple hundred to cover gas fees and exchange fees and stuff. So we'll just say it's $800. If you wait till tomorrow, it's going to be about $800 at the current price to be able to run a search node and get rewarded for it. When I did it, I got in at about 34 cents, I believe. So it cost me, I believe I had like we'll just say 3,200. So I got about $1,000 invested into tokens right now that are sitting there that I've distributed up. Okay, I've actually got more than that. Got a little bit more than that. So because I've actually got 4,000 tokens, I went back and bought a little bit more so I could stake a keyword, okay, and run 3 nodes. So there's money tied up in that right now, but you don't lose those tokens. When you stake them, they're still yours. If you ever decided, hey, I want to cash out and walk away with these, you could do that. Maybe you got more than 1 node. You want to come over and do that, and you take one of the nodes out of play. That you could do that. You could leave the node running. You just wouldn't get rewarded on it anymore. Now, let's say you put 1,000 tokens into this to stake one of these, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to unstake my tokens. Maybe I need the money for something, or I want to do something else with it. And you decide, well, I want to go back and stake tokens on that search node again. You're not grandfathered in anymore. So if you put 1,000 in to run a node, after tomorrow, if you went out and you unstake those tokens, you would have to stake 2,000 to start earning on it again. Okay? So that's part of where they're headed with building out the ecosystem by people being vested partners, vested in getting rewarded in exchange for helping contribute to the project. It helps that ecosystem flourish and keep people paid. Okay, it gets people paid for their efforts, but it also helps you get rewarded for these people off doing searches. You got search nodes that have ponied up money to help fund that. Okay, so you got other people that are buying the token. There is a fixed supply of 500 million tokens of pre-tokens. There's not going to be any more. There will not be any more. So the value of those 500 million, I would have to go look and see, but right now there is at least 60 million that I know of that's staked in this project from other people. Okay, 4,000 of those are for me. So what I did with some of the leftover that I had, you could see this node, I put 1,156 in it instead of 1,000, which means I'll get rewarded a little bit more. But let's look at this for just a minute, and then we'll talk about what's involved in setting one of these up. So it's a pretty slick little dashboard. It covers a lot of stuff. When you first get signed up, prior to this past Monday, it took 24 hours or more to get approved and for them to give you a registration code. They've now made it a public registration on it. So as soon as you go create it and you say, hey, I want to run a PreSearch node, then you'll get a registration code and you're approved to go run it. You only need one registration code, and you can run as many nodes as you want with one registration code. I literally have this process down now through building this out and doing what I need to do. I can run this one command that you see right there to install and run a node where it just keeps running. Okay, so what I'd like to offer here in just a few minutes is actually setting this up for anybody that wants to get started with it. If you want help getting it set up, if you go through the process I'm going to show you, I'll go set it up for you. It'll take me 5 minutes once I've got access to your machine. Okay, so let's talk about the types of hardware to be doing this with. Literally, it is a tiny, tiny little footprint. You can run this on a little Raspberry Pi computer, a little project type computer. You can run it on at least a Raspberry Pi 4. Okay, it needs to be higher than a 3. But the memory footprint is tiny. So there is a VPS provider that's made a really good, attractive deal called RackNerd, where they're active. Those guys are active in the PreSearch nodes Telegram group, and they have created this footprint of a little 0.5 gig of RAM, one CPU core, one virtual core, virtual private server. It's got 15 gigs of space on it, SSD. It's cached. It's really high performing, and you can do with a 1 gigabit speed from their data center. You can do 500 gig of bandwidth a month. You're not going to use 500 gig a month as a search node, and they give you a free dedicated IP address. Check this out: $22.99 for an entire year. Okay, so I've got 2 of them. I bought 2 of them. I'm running one of the search nodes with some reserve capacity right here on one of my dedicated servers I use for web hosting. So I went ahead and I'm running one on one of those servers. Why? Because I'm already paying for the server. I wanted to test it out on that operating system, so I've got it running there. You can see that I started that back on the 3rd, and it's earned 1.65 pre-token since then. Not a lot, but it's running. And the longer these nodes run, the lower the latency. Okay, so the speed of them being able to deliver requests, all of those things, if we go look at the stats on this, improves your reliability score. So this node has had 20 searches sent to it since the 3rd of October. Today is the 7th. Now, what you can see, the average latency, 1,242 milliseconds. That accounts for the time to go all the way over to somebody's computer and return the results and come all the way back, report it all. So that whole round trip time is how latency is determined. Now, the reliability score is based on averages of how long you've been up and running. So this one's got a 99.1% uptime. Latency score, 36.6. Success rate, it's been successful 100% of the time with the searches it's returned. You can see the staking capacity. So this is how much I've staked in percentage of that node. And the node is way underutilized. So that means I've got plenty of bandwidth left, plenty of resources left for it to be able to handle searches. The busier this gets, once it moves over to the mainnet, the more it's going to get searched on, the more it's used for optimal routing. then the more it's going to get utilized. So I'm positioning myself for the future growth. And the total earn is 0.41 pre-tokens. That's the reward for the reliability score being in the upper 70s. Ideally where you want to get to is the mid to upper 80s, or even in the 90s range. Of course, the higher you can get, the better you can get. But all of those things, that lower latency helps. So when you're more reliable, if you're using a home internet connection, it's going to blink on and off from time to time. Okay, so maybe your ISP maybe got bad storms. Like right now, it's a bad storm here in Alabama. So if my internet went off today for a couple of hours, that would affect my reliability score. I'd have to climb back up. People couldn't use it as a search node. So if you're running this with a Raspberry Pi, maybe reserved compute capacity sitting at your house, what you don't want to do is put it on an unreliable internet connection. What I would advise you to do, and what I've been telling others, is right now, let's just say you got a $500 budget if you want to run one and get rewarded as of the 7th before it doubles in price. Then that would get you one of these for a year that you can set it and forget it, because it's running in a data center that's up and running pretty much 24/7. It's got redundant connections. You don't have to worry about it. They provision the machine, they send you the login details, you deploy your node, you walk away from it. That's it. When you set these nodes up, you can also get notified. If we go look, send email on disconnect and on reconnect. So you can say, hey, after 5 minutes, I want to be notified that my node has gone offline. One of the boxes that I was playing with this with, when I first did it, for whatever reason, it just kept crapping out, and it would eventually die and not come back. So I consider that pretty unstable, so I abandoned that machine where I was running it, and I went off and bought the second VPS over here, because it's $22.98. It's $23 a year. Okay, you can't rent a computer for $23 a year anywhere else that I know of. I mean, that's $1 and something a month. So that's a no-brainer decision right there, and I'm going to put a link down in the description of this video. Yes, it's an affiliate link. I'm not going to earn much money on $22.99, but it's really more for convenience. So if you want to go off and order one of these, it's already located in, I believe, Los Angeles, where that data center is. Yep. They're in the West Coast, so they're optimal for where they're looking for this right now. So if you want to go get one of these and get started with a node, even if you don't have 1,000 pre-tokens to stake it, but you would like to buy one of these, run one of these nodes, and just kind of help contribute to the community, you can do that. Okay, and that's a very easy thing to do. And again, I'll set that up for you. I'll do it. I don't make anything off of you staking pre-tokens. Okay, so it's to help you get started with this if you want to get in early on this project. And I'm telling you, I'm just going to show you the Telegram group. It is the wild freaking west right now. I'm hoping they get an FAQ bot or something in place, because God help me, I was in here right before this video and there's already 159 new messages. Okay, there's people in here asking questions constantly. I mean, and some of them are good questions. I participate and try and help as I learn more and can help, and everybody's helping each other. But there's people asking questions nonstop on how to set up a node, how to get a search node running. And the admins in here are very helpful. Other community members are very helpful. So if you got any questions, you're ready to go. That's somebody talking about tokens needed. They're talking about Friday's date if they have under 2,000 or whatever. So anyway, very busy group, but it's there for support. So let's get back to this for just a minute. Let's talk about rewards. So whether this is a small amount right now or it raises up to a higher amount, what may happen, and I've seen this with other systems, when they move to the main net, they might lower the amount you get rewarded for searches and uptime. And just for keeping this up and running, you get rewarded. You earn rewards just for it staying online and running if you're staked. Okay? But a lot of times what will happen, because they want to compensate for the increase in token price with the reward scale, they might lower the reward, but you're going to more than compensate for that when you're out here in this busier main net and that's a bigger adoption of this project. So think of it as laying the foundation for your house that you're going to build. You might make additions to that house. You might change it around later, but you built a foundation that's going to be solid. You're not going to go change the foundation of your house in most cases. So this is the foundation. If I had my way about it, I would have 100 nodes running right now, all staked, ready to go. But can't afford to do that. I could have early on if I'd done it. I'd literally probably would have had 50 by now if I'd gotten in when it was just a couple of cents on the token price. If I'd seen this project earlier, I would have done it. But I worked with what I could. So right now, the way this is done, this is fixed. All you have to do when you're ready to stake this, you can edit the node, or let's say it's not staked, you could click the stake button, but let's say I've deposited pre-tokens in my account, and I'm going to put a link for an exchange that you can use. I use the what did I end up using? The KuCoin exchange to buy my pre-tokens. But the KuCoin exchange is 100 pre-tokens to transfer it. So however much you buy, you have to add that 100 to it so that you got enough to get it over there and cover the fee to get it to your wallet. So I ended up moving it to my MetaMask wallet, which I ultimately transferred over into PreSearch. So you got to have some gas to get it from point A to point B, okay? And then from point B to point C. Once it's there, it sits in your balance here, and you can go stake it and apply it if you want to. I could go take these rewards today, the ones that are in my savings account, and actually apply those. If I come back over here, here's the amount I've staked. Right here it tells you, hey, minimum 1,000 pre-tokens. If you want to unstake it, you change it to 0. But again, after Friday, tomorrow, let's say I've got 1,000 in here now and I unstake it. If I go back tomorrow and I unstake it, it's going to make me pay 2,000 to stake it again if I decide I want to do that. So now is the time if you want to get in on this, if you're seeing this video before the 8th of October. All right. So right now, last night before I went to bed, I said, hey, I want to go ahead and transfer these over to my savings account. So I did. So I woke up this morning, and since we've been talking on this video, I'm going to refresh it. You're going to see this number has gone up slightly. You're going to see this number has gone up slightly. Oh, slightly. Nope. Not quick enough for what we're talking about here. But this actually changed from when we were in it just a moment ago. But right now, I'm at almost 1 pre-token since I went to bed last night. So all I have to do to put this in my savings account is click claim. Your current balance is 0.9675. To claim these available node rewards and transfer them to your savings account, click the button below. There's no fee for that. You're just moving it into your savings account. It says, okay, they're being transferred. Might take several minutes. So now, if I refresh, this is going to be 0. Okay, so I've done that. And if I come back over here, somewhere, savings account, here's where I just transferred my 0.9675 pre-tokens over to my savings account. Okay, so I have it in my piggy bank. Last night, you could see I did it where I transferred 0.3584 over here. Okay, and here's where I was tinkering. Let's see, what was that? There's some other ones when I was, playing around with these nodes, trying to get them up and running. Before I destroyed one of those and recreated it on this VPS I was showing you, I went ahead and transferred it out. Made sure I just zeroed things out and did that. So it's done. So I've got my rewards. I could do that daily, weekly, monthly, however often I want to. It's safe. It's sitting there. It's just whenever I'm ready, whatever I've accumulated for running these search nodes, I'll just come over here and make a deposit in my piggy bank. It's just like taking change out of your pocket and dropping it in the bank. Okay. So now you guys understand the 3 ways, or the 3 that I know of, to earn pre-tokens with the PreSearch project. It's a powerful, powerful project that's on the climb. It's growing every day. Hell, it's growing by the hour just watching some of the conversation in there. The number of nodes coming on board is increasing. Again, people are doing this mad gold rush right now trying to get tokens in place and get nodes up and running. I saw some guy yesterday that had 50 nodes up and running that he just invested in 50 nodes. That's a lot of money. But he sees the future in the project. He went ahead and staked 1,000. So that's 50,000 tokens. That's a lot of change, man. That's, let's say you did it at 0.395 times. So he put a $20,000 investment into it, but he sees where it's going. He knows where this community project's going. But I want you to think about what's happening there. All those nodes sitting there, they start going up in the reliability score. They all start servicing searches. this number is just going to be like a parking meter running, man. It's going to keep cranking up, and every day he can just claim those tokens and put them in there. Token price is going to go up. You make your ROI later, okay? If you're in this to get rich quick, not the type of project for that. This is a long-term, stable project with good development, good backing, really good videos that are out there on PreSearch.io that you need to go look at. It's a little bit of housekeeping. We're about to wrap this up. So if you do like the video, go ahead and smash and kill that like button down below it. Go ahead and click the subscribe button below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. And click the little bell for notifications if you want to get notified of other videos that I've done. I'd love to help you more and help you understand how these projects work. I am a 30-plus year career IT nerd and marketer, and I get in the deep details, in the weeds with these projects, so you don't have to, okay? I'll go deep with you on this stuff if you want to and talk about it, but I cover the bases on this. I've been with cryptocurrencies since Bitcoin was about 12 bucks. And so I've been dealing with this for a long time, and some of this technology. It gives me a comfortable advantage to know how a lot of this stuff works. I still have to learn. I learn every day. There's something I learn new every single day. But when I learn it, I evaluate it, I can recommend it or I might not recommend it. If I am showing you a project here, then I'm standing behind it, I'm doing it myself, and I'm recommending it, okay? I'm not one of those guys that goes out and says, hey, you need to go do this, and I've never tested a damn thing. I don't do that, okay? So this is for your education. There's some really good stuff in there. I'll actually put down below in the description, I'm going to put a link to ModoTech's video he did showing how to build it on Raspberry Pi, and his interview with the CEO, which I thought was really, really good. That's where I first learned about this project. And I'm going to put links to those videos down below here as well, so you can go check him out. And I'm going to put a link for you to go pick up if you decide you want to build a search node. I'm recommending that you spend the $22.99 a year and go buy one of these. Now, they may be sold out soon. They've already sold out of the AMD version of these, the Ryzen ones. But this little small footprint one right here, 23 bucks a year. I would encourage you, if you want to set one of these nodes up, go ahead and do that. I'm going to put a link to the KuCoin exchange. It may be an affiliate link. I'm not sure. I've not referred anybody to it yet, but that's where I bought my token, so I'm going to refer you to where I've successfully done this, okay? I believe also that you can buy tokens now. Where is it? Where any crap is it? I just saw it. You ever one of those things where you see it and you can't find it again? Tokens, tokens, tokens. Portal? Nope. Oh, buy tokens. Duh. All right, PreSearch tokens. If you click buy tokens, they have it available here. I mean, there's fees like anything else that's there, but you can use their calculator and say, okay, I want to buy 1,000 pre-tokens. Oh my God, it's back up to 43 cents now since we started this video. Okay. I gotta see that. Hang on. Let's go look at pre-tokens. No, I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe it's not updated yet. But it's at 38.9. It's actually a good time to go buy these tokens right now if you're going to do this. So let's say you get 1,000 of these. It's going to show you how much in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or wire transfer and stuff if you want to go buy the tokens. Realistically, if you're going to get 1,000 of them, you're pretty much looking at a $500 investment as of today if you do it before tomorrow. If you do it tomorrow, you might as well say it's a $900 investment, somewhere in that range. The time you buy the VPS and you cover any fees for a couple of hundred of those. So 500 today, 900 to 1,000 tomorrow. Okay, and that's based on the token price. Only do what you can afford to do. I'm just telling you that now is the time to lay the foundation. If you just run one node, you can do that. One other quick thing to cover. I've been asked, and I've seen other people ask, do you make more if you stake more on a particular node? You'll make some, but you will do better. Let's say you had 2,000 pre-tokens to work with. You would actually do better of doing 2 nodes with 1,000 apiece. and that gives you the ability to get a bigger reward. I have one of these staked. I believe it was this one. I had it staked with 2,000 tokens for a couple of days. Didn't really see that much more of a reward at the time over the others. Okay, so I ended up splitting it up where it's 1,000 a piece. Now you might decide, as long as if you staked 1,000, you're grandfathered in on it, you could add more to that. Okay, so you could always say, hey, I want to up the ante maybe later and add some more tokens. Maybe you've earned some up here and you want to revest those back into it, or you buy some tokens later. As long as you're grandfathered in here, you could go ahead and drop those tokens in there. I believe, though, you got to keep it at like 1,999, because as soon as you hit that 2,000 mark, that's now your new minimum from there forward after tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. You can stake more, but you can't unstake it and remain grandfathered. Okay? All right. That pretty much covers it. So down in the description of the video, you're going to see the relevant links, the things that are going to help you to get started with this project. I'm going to try and get the word out on this as quickly as possible. I was hoping to get this video done earlier in the week, but I had to do some of my own testing as well. If I were to refresh this, we're going to see this number has probably gone up a little. Let's see. Yep, it did. So now I've already earned some more pre-tokens, okay? So these searches are coming through there, the uptime rewards are coming through there, and you keep earning on that. So get yourself positioned if you can do it. I think it's a fun project. I think it's going to be a good one. I will have my 30 searches out of the way probably in the next few hours, because I do a ton of searching every day. And because I have it on my phone, I've got it on my desktop PC, I'm going to be at work, I'm going to have it sitting there in my Chrome browser when I'm using it at work for work research. You'll hit that 30 every day with no trouble, but that's 3 pre-tokens a day just for doing searches. So go get paid to do searches if that's all you do, and tell other people about it. All right, guys, I know this video was run long, but it was important that you see how this whole thing works, okay? So you guys take care. I hope this helps you and you can get ahead with it. Take care.